How Lisa became a great speaker. Lisa was always known as a quiet person, someone who preferred to listen rather than speak, especially when she was in a large group. Even as a child, she often sat in the back of the classroom, carefully observing others while keeping her thoughts to herself. However, as she grew older, Lisa began to understand that speaking clearly and confidently was an important skill that could help her both in school and later in her career. It was not just about sharing ideas, but also about connecting with people and inspiring them with her words. In high school, Lisa faced a turning point when her teacher announced that each student would have to give a presentation on a topic of their choice. The thought of standing in front of her classmates and expressing her ideas made her feel extremely nervous. Despite her many interests and strong opinions, Lisa was afraid that her voice would be too quiet and that her words might not have the impact she hoped for. The fear of making mistakes and being judged by others prevented her from speaking up, and for a long time, this fear held her back. One day, after one of her presentations, Lisa's teacher, Mrs. Carter, pulled her aside and said, "Lisa, I know you have great ideas, and I believe that you have the potential to become a wonderful speaker. It is only a matter of practicing and believing in yourself." These kind words sparked something inside Lisa, and she decided that she would do whatever it took to overcome her fear. She wanted to become a speaker who could inspire others, and she believed that with hard work and dedication, her dream could come true. Lisa began by reading books and watching videos about public speaking. She learned that every great speaker had once been a beginner who faced the same challenges she was experiencing. One book explained that a clear structure, confident body language, and a warm, engaging tone were the key elements of a successful speech. Although some of the advice seemed difficult to follow at first, Lisa took careful notes and made sure to practice the techniques in small, everyday situations. The first step in Lisa's journey was to join a local speaking club that met every week in a community center. At the first meeting, she felt a mix of excitement and fear as she listened to other members share their stories and ideas. The members of the club were very supportive, and they welcomed every new member with open arms. Even though she was still shy, Lisa decided to try speaking in front of the group by giving a short talk about her favorite hobby, reading. When she finished, the applause and positive feedback made her feel that maybe she was on the right path. After her initial attempt, Lisa started to practice more frequently. She would stand in front of a mirror every morning and rehearse a short speech, sometimes recording herself so she could listen to her voice and see her body language. Although it was hard at first, she gradually learned how to control her tone, slow down her speech, and make eye contact with her reflection. Each day, she noticed a little improvement, and her confidence slowly grew. Lisa found that even small steps of progress were important in helping her overcome her long-held fears. As weeks turned into months, Lisa continued to attend her speaking club and also began to volunteer at school events, where she could practice her speaking skills in a more informal setting. One day, the club organized a workshop on storytelling, where an experienced speaker shared personal stories about overcoming challenges and the importance of authenticity in public speaking. Lisa listened carefully and felt deeply moved by the speaker's journey. It was in that moment that she realized that every mistake, every moment of nervousness was a stepping stone toward becoming the person she wanted to be. Inspired by the workshop, Lisa decided to take on a bigger challenge. She signed up for a regional speech competition that was open to young adults in her area. In the weeks leading up to the competition, she prepared a speech about overcoming fear and finding one's inner strength. She worked hard to ensure that her speech was not only well organized, but also filled with personal stories and reflections that she hoped would connect with her audience. During her preparation, Lisa met other competitors who shared their own journeys. And this exchange of experiences made her feel that she was not alone in facing such challenges. On the day of the competition, Lisa felt a flutter of nervousness in her stomach as she waited backstage. The room was filled with the buzz of voices, the shuffling of papers, and the sound of footsteps. And the atmosphere was both exciting and intimidating. When her name was called, she took a deep breath and walked onto the stage. The bright lights and the expectant faces of the audience made her heart beat faster, but she reminded herself of all the practice and hard work she had done. With a clear mind and a steady voice, Lisa began her speech. As she spoke, Lisa could feel a transformation taking place. Her voice, once timid and unsure, grew strong and confident. She used pauses to emphasize important points and made eye contact with several people in the audience, as if she were having a personal conversation with each of them. The personal stories she shared resonated with the listeners, and for a few moments she felt completely in control of the room. When she finished, the applause that followed was loud and sincere, and in that moment, Lisa knew that her journey had reached an important milestone. After the competition, several people came up to Lisa to tell her how much they were inspired by her speech. One of the judges, an experienced public speaker, said, "Lisa, you have a natural gift. It is clear that you have worked hard to overcome your fears, and your speech touched many hearts today." These kind words encouraged Lisa even further, and they confirmed that all the practice, persistence, and courage had been worth it. The experience not only boosted her confidence, but also helped her realize that public speaking was a skill that could open many doors in her future. In the months that followed, Lisa continued to refine her speaking skills. She took advanced communication courses and began to attend more public events where she could share her ideas. Lisa started a blog where she wrote about her journey, offering tips and encouragement to others who wanted to become better speakers. Her story reached many people who had similar fears and doubts, and she received messages of support and gratitude from readers around the country. Lisa also became involved in organizing events at her school and in her community. She helped plan workshops and invited experienced speakers to share their knowledge with young people. Her passion for communication and her genuine desire to help others made her a beloved figure among her peers. Over time, Lisa became not only a great speaker, but also a mentor who inspired many others to overcome their own fears and to find their voices. Looking back on her journey, Lisa was amazed at how much she had changed. The once quiet and reserved girl had transformed into a confident speaker who could express herself with clarity and passion. She realized that the key to her success was not just natural talent, but a willingness to face her fears. to practice every day and to learn from both her mistakes and her successes. Lisa often said, becoming a great speaker is a process, and every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. Lisa's journey teaches us an important lesson that the ability to speak well is not something you are born with, but a skill that can be developed through hard work, practice, and a positive attitude. Her story is a reminder that even when you feel uncertain or afraid, there is always a way to overcome those feelings and to grow into the person you aspire to be. Through determination, support from others, and a constant desire to learn, Lisa became an inspiration to many, showing that every voice has the power to change the world.